Hey guys, what's going on? Druzy here, back again with another South Park Phone Destroyer video, and we're going to go ahead and restart an old series that I used to do here on the channel where I did the best of series. So it's the best cards of one specific character card within the game. And now that the superhero theme has been released, and there are a bunch of, some changes have been done to some of the cards within, not only being added to the game within the new theme, as well as some balance changes have been done to some certain cards, I think that it is time to redo some of this list because some of these videos are very outdated compared to what they were originally. So some people have asked me in some of the older videos, Druzy, are these still relevant? Well, these were going to be the more relevant ones to this point within the game of Phone Destroyer that as I'm recording this video of where I think these cards lie. We're going to start the series off with the best of Butters because Butters is my favorite character within South Park, so he's going to be the first video that I do. But let me know down below after this video or while watching this video which one you'd like to see next, but specifically I'd like to try to do the ones within the superheroes theme first, and I'll try to do maybe one a week here going forward to kind of re-energize this series into the channel. So we're going to start off with what I think is the worst Butters right now within the game, and that is Astronaut Butters. Now, am I saying that Astronaut Butters is a complete trash card? No, he is very useful for more free-to-play players and early on within the game, and within the sci-fi theme he's actually not bad and probably the best assassin there beyond 4S Monkey level 6. But his Death Wish speeds up all his closest allies or the enemy leader for 6 seconds is very useful. That is still a usable kind of Death Wish, but still, as far as his actual attack speed is the real downfall of Astronaut Butters. He has one of the slowest attack speeds, if not the slowest attack speed, of any of the Butters cards, and because of that, and the fact that he's a common, and most common cards are pretty bad within the game. I'd say about 90% are near unusable right now, or not really near unusable, but not as useful as an epic or a legendary are going to be by any stretch of the imagination. So Astronaut Butters really takes kind of a hit because of that 5% nerf that was given almost feels like a year ago now to common cards, and because of that he's just not very good right now, so he would be number 5 on my list of best Butters cards. Coming in at number 4 is Deckhand Butters. So Deckhand Butters is better than Astronaut Butters for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I think his Death Wish overall can be more useful in more situations than the speed up can from Astronaut Butters. Yes, he is 1 energy unit cost higher, which is a mild decrease to his overall usefulness, but the fact that that heal that he gives is very useful with that Death Wish and if you didn't play in the last, or if you did play in the last Team Wars before I recorded this video, Deckhand Butters, and you saw even in the video that I did in Gold League how useful his extra heal could be in a lot of different situations. As well, Deckhand Butters has, I believe, the fastest attack speed of any of the Butters within the game right now. So because of that, with his increased attack speed and the fact that his heal is actually extremely useful in taking a unit that could have otherwise died and possibly bring it back to life, and or healing your new kid when some damage could be coming its way that could be devastating. Deckhand Butters can be just so useful in those different situations and is why he is higher than Astronaut Butters to me on this list. Coming in at number 3 is Paladin Butters, and Paladin Butters is one of the few common cards right now that you're going to see all the time, that he's still extremely useful in the meta as a common unit, and the main reason is because his Death Wish is possibly one of the best Death Wishes for any of the Butters cards, where the closest ally or leader becomes invincible for 3 seconds. That can be extremely useful in a lot of different scenarios, especially for people that use Douglas. Sometimes you can just see that just having that little bit of extra shield can sometimes be the turning point for taking a bar from an enemy new kid, or just even keeping a unit alive long enough to do some damage to a push coming at them. And Butters, Paladin Butters scaling is about the same, just a little bit better than Astronaut Butters, and his overall attack speed is better than Astronaut Butters as a common card, which is what makes him a little bit better and better than Deckhand Butters in my opinion. Although I still believe Deckhand Butters has faster attack speed than Paladin Butters overall, but Paladin Butters is still very useful as far as the attack speed is concerned, to where he's still a very viable card to use right now, and is why he's number 3. Coming in at number 2, and many of you may disagree with me, as much as I love Professor Chaos right now, and he recently got a buff to the fact that he no longer does his Warcry damage to his own units, which was a kind of, I guess, a bug that Red Lynx did fix very recently. Actually, today, as I'm recording this video, they took the ability to do damage to the allied units at the amount of damage that he does do. But even because of that, Professor Chaos is still not the best Butters card in my opinion. He's extremely useful. I think he's not a terrible card by any stretch, but I think that the other card ahead of him is a little bit better for a couple of different reasons. This is the only Butters card that does not have a Death Wish. Yes, he is immune to mind control, which can be useful in certain situations, but all in all, you don't see a lot of mind control being cast out right now. It's a good counter for something like Cyborg Kenny. It's a good counter for even a Mecha Timmy at times, but that's really about it. Even some people have kind of gone away with using mind control within the meta right now. I'm not saying it's gone completely, but seem to have taken a step back as far as in Legendary Arena. In Silver Shield, I'm sure it's used quite a bit because Douglases are running rampant down there, or Dougies, if you guys don't know what I mean when I say that. Mind Control is still used widely just to counter those cards specifically. But if you're seeing kind of a decrease, or I'm at least noticing a decrease within Legendary Arena, to where the immunity to Mind Control isn't as useful once you get to the higher tiers of PvP. But his Warcry can be extremely useful, doing that stun, doing that base damage as well, which does increase as you level up the card. He has a little bit faster attack speed than Choirboy Butters does, and the exact same health scaling and damage scaling as well, but the 3 energy cost is a mild decrease as far as his usefulness. Just the fact that you're not going to be able to cycle to him quite as quickly as you would with the number 1 card, so that is kind of a mild, kind of a weakness to him, and why I put him at number 2. So to me, the best Butters in the game right now is still Choirboy Butters, and I say this primarily due to the fact that I think that Choirboy Butters is more widely used. And I'm not saying that that makes him a better card because he's more widely used. I think he has more value. That 2 energy cost value with the amount of health scaling and damage scaling that he has at base for a 2 energy cost epic assassin card is just too dang good. Yes, his attack speed is lower than some of the other Butters, or at least 2 other Butters that have faster attack speeds, maybe 3 that have faster attack speeds than Choirboy Butters does. But just having that lower energy cost to the same level as many of the common cards do is extremely useful, and the fact that he does an insane amount of damage, or feels that way. If you put Choirboy Butters in the right scenarios, he can be used quite a bit, and because he's such a low energy cost, he can be cycled through so often to the point to where he just gains that much more value back. His Death Wish is pretty trash in all reality. Giving you a little extra energy doesn't do much. So that is where people may debate, well, Druzy, that infinitely makes Professor Chaos better just due to the fact that he actually has a Warcry that's useful versus a Death Wish from Choirboy Butters that isn't. But if you just look at the value or the amount of times that you see Choirboy Butters played, yes, I get that Choirboy Butters is probably played far more often, just due to the fact that people have him leveled up higher than Professor Chaos. When people get the superheroes theme to a more reasonable level, will you see more Professor Chaos than Choirboy Butters? I don't know. But as of right now, I still think Choirboy Butters is better, just due to the fact that he's more cyclable. He has the exact same damage and health scaling as Professor Chaos does. And, I mean, he's still just better for a bunch of different scenarios and much more widely used. And Mystical reaps the benefits of how strong he actually is. So I have Choirboy Butters just barely ahead of Professor Chaos. But what do you guys think? Do you disagree with my rankings here of the Butters cards here in the games thus far? And I am planning on updating this series, continuing to go on with this series, and would like your guys' input in the comment section of which one I should do next. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this helped any of the newer players that are in the game trying to figure out which Butters card is best to focus on. That's the primary focus of this kind of series, is to help the newer audience, because I am getting a lot of newer people joining the channel here, and I would like to help them out as best I can. So thank you so much for watching, you guys, and until next time, my name is Druzy,